Hello, everybody. We've got a real treat for you today. It is the one, the only miracle of Team Nigma fame. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing great. Not every day you get to talk to a living legend.
Man, appreciate talking to you. You yourself are a legend.
Mm, in spirit, perhaps. My
Now,
accomplishments.
for me, you're a legend, man.
I appreciate that. I'm going to put that
No problem.
on my Twitter later.
All right,
Well, let's just get into it. So
let's go.
we've had a bit of a break. Everybody playing from home. How do you feel like that's affected you guys, your performance, your team camaraderie, since you're unable to play from the same location?
Well, I think it doesn't really affect it, but at the same time it does because it's always better to boot camp if you want to
Hmm.
practice or whatever. I mean, the online practice is good and all, but how to put it, it's always better to bootcamp to see each other, as in,
Hmm.
you're sitting next to this guy and you're sitting next to this guy. If anything happens, you guys can talk about it face to face. But online, it's not the same.
Hmm.
It's just different, I guess. But it can be fine as well. Like practice is practice. I mean, I think it's more efficient to bootcamp, if anything.
Hmm.
But since we can't, online is the best way to do it. So I think it's still fine. It didn't really affect us that much. Yeah.
And you guys are one of the longest teams, or longest serving teams, longest together teams,
Okay.
not just contemporary, but of all
Yeah.
time. What's changed in the way you guys prepare and in the way you guys communicate if you compare, say, TI7 era to now?
How things change. I mean, to be fair, like now in terms of preparation and everything, everybody's just good as a team. And in terms of communication and preparation, they're also like even the tier two teams, you can tell that they're preparing, they're watching, they're doing things that you probably didn't expect as a like I don't know, it's gonna sound a bit weird, but as a tier one team, you're going into a match against a tier two team, right? You're kind of like not consciously, but like deep down, you're not playing 100%.
Hmm.
But like they're very good. These tier two teams, like you get off guard and they just win 2-0 in a series, and then you're like, holy shit, you can't underestimate these tier two teams anymore. Like it's just not a possibility right now or for a month or two or three. They're just very good in terms of preparing and everything. So I think what we do is pretty much prepare like everybody else because you can't how to put it slack off, like can't just not prepare, not watch games, I guess. So you
Mm.
have to pretty much do your, I guess, job in terms of preparing and stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
You can't just pick Invoker mid and go win
pretty
anymore.
much,
Yeah.
sadly, but yeah.
Do you miss playing Invoker? I mean, it's back in the meta now. Can we expect to see you maybe play the mid role just so you can get a couple spins on it, or what?
I mean, you never know, but actually, I've been playing Invoker in my pubs yesterday, played them a couple games, but it's definitely different from when you're a mid and you switch to carry and you play mid, because I haven't played Invoker in a long time.
Hmm.
Just an example, Invoker, and I feel, holy shit, I feel terrible at the hero right now because everything is off, like timings. I don't know, even item builds in a bit like in a way that I don't know what to buy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like so I'm getting back to the invoker, so I don't really forget the hero completely right now. But yeah, you never know. Maybe in the future we can pull it off invoker mid.
And you were talking, you think you said the word, but I really got to know, why don't you stream? In fact, none
I
of you
stream.
guys in Enigma stream. But how often do you stream? Once a month doesn't count.
Me, I mean, if I stream once a month, it's a blessing, man. I stream once 2 years or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really into streaming, to be honest.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just I guess I don't like it, so that's why I don't really stream much. So that's pretty much the reason. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So because when you stream, your focus is not 100% in the game. When you stream, your focus is somewhere else, right?
Hmm.
Because you're streaming, people are watching, maybe you do something, I don't know, weird, and then it gets to you. But if you play if you play without streaming, it's a completely different thing. You're 100% in the game. You're more focused. You're more into the game. But when you're streaming, it's different. So
Hmm.
I like to be focusing on the game than, I guess, streaming and focusing on the game at the same time. Because I mean, you can't really do it, right? To focus on the game 100% and stream, because you always have something on the back of your head when you're streaming.
Hmm.
So you're not really in it. So that's why I don't really like to stream. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you just prefer to play Dota for the passion of it. And this is a
Yeah.
follow up. When you started out, when you first were discovered by NoTail and you began playing with OG, you were just like this pub star out of nowhere. You
Yeah.
just clowned on people. There were a couple of videos of your Invoker, of your Juggernaut. And now it's 4 or 5 years later. You're no longer
Yeah.
a pub star. Now you're a professional, a full blown
Yeah.
adult. Do you still have the same passion for the game? Do you still love to play? And what are your goals? Like, what do you want in your career? What do you have to accomplish before you could walk away from Dota?
I mean, in terms of goals, I would like to win definitely another TI. That's kind of my motivation right now.
Mhm.
But in terms of passion for the game, I mean, it's like you can't always be passionate about the game, right? Because sometimes you're burned out, sometimes you don't want to really play, so you kind of have to mix things up between how you go from day to day. Like for example, today I want to play, but tomorrow I'm gonna chill a bit, so you don't get burned out throughout the year or
Mhm.
throughout the season. So you kind of have to put your schedule in a good use, that you don't get the passion, I guess, away, that it doesn't go away. So you
Mhm.
have to mix your schedule. I guess, for example, you're gonna play, I don't know, like like 1 week you play 5 days, and then maybe you take 2 days off. I guess something like that. But you definitely have to switch things up to be able to keep up with the game, the passion, everything. Yeah.
Got it. I'm curious as to your thoughts. This is around the same time TI would be if it weren't for the pandemic.
Yeah.
The prize pool is approaching $40 million already.
Yeah.
And if we were to delay TI for a full year, it could be 50, 60 plus. Do
Yeah.
you think there should be a cap on the prize pool and
Mm.
perhaps spread some of this extra cash around the scene through the events throughout the year? Or do you want just 100 million? Doesn't matter. As much money as possible in this 1 2 week tournament.
To be honest, I'm not really sure about this question, because you don't know how, I guess, Valve operates with this kind of thing. Like, do they keep going to 100, or do they spread the money? I mean, you never know. I mean, for me, I'm not really, like, I don't know personally, like, how to put it in a good use.
Mhm.
I mean, just how it is. I'm not really sure. So yeah.
Gotcha. And there's obviously a lot of players who watch your replays to try to get better at the game. But when you're trying to learn stuff about Dota, who do you study as somebody who could potentially be even better than you?
I mean, it depends on the role, I guess.
Mhm.
Because, for example, right now I'm getting back to the Invoker, and I forgot a lot of things about the hero. So I'm watching a little bit the Sumiya guy, the Invoker guy, if you
Mhm.
know him. So I
Yeah.
watch him actually because he's a very good Invoker. So I'm trying to get back on track on the hero. So I'm watching him. So that's this guy. But on carry, I mostly look out for my own mistakes, like
Mhm.
what I could have done better, what I could have done here in this situation. Because I don't. I mean, that's my bad on my part. Like, I probably should be watching other carries how they do it, but I kind of focus on my own, I guess, replay, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, I pretty much, I guess, watch myself. And yeah, that's
Gotcha.
pretty much it.
So it's
Yeah.
only the pub stars, pretty much. I think Sumiya will appreciate the shout out.
Yeah,
And yeah, that makes sense though.
hopefully.
You go for the raw individual skill and you kind of tweak it, make it into
Yeah,
your own.
yeah,
Um, one final question. So you guys had a decent run in the online tournaments segment that we've had over the last few months, but you only won one event, and that was with
Yeah.
RMN playing and Kuro coaching. Is that something? Is there anything into that? Do you think maybe Kuro should swap roles, or was it a fluke?
Nah, not really. I think this 1 month break actually helped us a lot in terms of refocusing on the game
Mhm.
because everyone was just fucking amazing in this tournament. Everyone played really well. RMN was a boss, not gonna lie. He played very
Mhm.
well. I think the break helped us in terms of just chill, get away from the computer. I mean, me personally, I just kept playing because I don't know what like I play, but usually I go out at night. That's
Mhm.
just how life in Jordan is. It's a nightlife. So I go out at night, and throughout the day, I just pretty much play, and then I leave. But yeah, but the guys did really well. Like it's amazing. I think the break helped us a lot. To
Gotcha.
put it this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. I think a lot of people, it's funny. I actually have a couple more questions because it made me
Uh,
think of them. But when it comes to this player break, do you think it's something we should just have every year? Because Counter Strike, they just have a rule. They don't play in July or August. They just take a whole month off. We don't have that.
like
It's always a
yeah.
grind.
I mean, it is always a grind. I mean, to be honest, the breaks would be helpful for the
Mhm.
players, for everyone. To be honest, casters as well. Like I'm sure they sometimes they don't want to travel. Like
Mhm.
you're also like tired from traveling. You don't really want to go, but you have to go. So for me personally, I think it would be nice to have breaks for everybody. Would be
Mhm.
yeah, just would be very good. Yeah.
Gotcha. And really, last question. You guys have one of the most impressive rosters on paper that has ever existed. But who do you think the best player on your team is?
GH for sure. He's a beast, man.
I
For
agree.
me, it's a GH. Yeah.
He's so cuddly too.
Yeah, he's very kind. It's like when you look at him play, he's just a fucking beast, It's
Mhm.
like he's insane, man.
Yeah. I'm curious, has he ever been angry? Have you ever seen him rage in a
Not
in a team
really, no.
meeting in a game ever?
I mean, even if he rages, it looks so cute, Like it's not even a rage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
know what you mean.
not really. Yeah,
All right, well, cool. I appreciate all the insight, man. It's really been
anytime, man.
eye-opening hearing some of your answers. Thanks a lot. Do you have any
Thank
shout
you.
outs or anything you'd like to say?
Shout out to my team for the fans who helped us as well. We really appreciate your support, and shout out to Kuro. Hopefully, he comes back soon.
Mm.
And yeah,
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Amber. And
thank you,
you have a
man.
good day. See you around.
Thanks. You too. See ya.
Ставь лайк, подписывайся на канал и жми на колокольчик. Иначе я вызову врача.